We just got home and I wanted to quickly show you guys what I was going to read for Shorty September. I did not know about this challenge until yesterday, and I thought when I heard some of the rules behind it, or sort of the guidelines, that it was going to be a really good respite from reading The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, because this is a very dense novel. It is extremely philosophical. I think it would be good timing to deviate from this long form literature that's very deep and read some shorter books. And so I do believe that for Shorty September, some of the guidelines are you cannot have a book over 200 pages, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that that's it. And so I've picked out My Man Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. And another one of the reasons why I'm excited about this challenge is because this is going to help me knock out a lot of the books that I've acquired over the years and have just been sitting on my shelf, and I've just not read them, had the opportunity to, or taken the opportunity to. So P.G. Wodehouse was a humorist, and he wrote this in 1919 is when this was published. And so this is a collection of short stories. It says first published in the United Kingdom in May 1919. Of the 8 stories in the collection, half feature the popular characters Jeeves and Bertie Wooster, while the others concern Reggie Pepper, an early prototype for Bertie Wooster. So these are a collection of short stories, and P.G. Wodehouse is a humorist, and so these are funny. And so far, I'm not into this enough. I did start it last night, and I think I'm going to have this one be my first one, but I can't really tell you much about it. Then Emma M. Lyon. I also did do a trial run for this, and I read the first 12 pages of this one. This is not capturing me like I thought it would. Let me know if you think that it gets better if you've read these before, because the writing has been very kind of clunky to me, and sort of not bad by any stretch, but just like I don't know what's going on, and things are like so starting in medias res that I'm like, I have no idea what's going on or who is who, or there's just very little background. So let me know if you have also had that same experience, or you just loved this book on the outset and I'm an anomaly, because so many people love this, and I'm not saying I won't love it. I just am definitely not. It did not meet my expectation for how I thought I was going to feel about it when I first started. The next one I'm going to read, and I don't think I even really told you about what Emma M. Lyon is. These are journal entries from a woman named Emma, and these are written in 1883. This is fictional too, and it says that Emma M. Lyon has returned to her London neighborhood of St. Crispian's, but Emma's plans for a charmed and studious life are sabotaged by her eccentric cousin Archibald, her formidable Aunt Eugenia, and the slightly odd denizens of St. Crispian's. Next is Masks by Fumiko Enchi. And I bought this book when we went on our trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina this past summer. And this is about Mieko Tagano. And it says, following the death of her son, Mieko Tagano takes an increasing interest in the personal affairs of her widowed daughter-in-law, Yasuko. Devastated by her loss, she skillfully manipulates the relationships between Yasuko and the 2 men who are in love with her, encouraging a dalliance that will have terrible consequences. I did ChatGPT this book to see if it was clean, and I do, if I can recall correctly, saying that it is clean. There are no sex scenes or anything that is overtly sexual or explicit, and so we'll see if ChatGPT holds up to that. Then 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. Is that right? This is, I think this is a epistolary little tiny book. This charming classic, first published in 1970, brings together 20 years of correspondence between Helene Hanff, a freelance writer living in New York City, and a used book dealer in London. Through the years, though never meeting and separated both geographically and culturally, they share a winsome, sentimental friendship based on their mutual love for books. The relationship, captured so acutely in these letters, is one that will grab your heart and refuse to let go. Next, this is by Nine Marks Ministries. This is published by Crossway, and this is by John Onwuchekwa. Onwuchekwa, and this is called What If I Don't Desire to Pray? Church Questions. This is a part of a series that they do called Church Questions, and they just address very common and needed questions within the church and write these tiny little booklets on it. So I have a few of these, and quite frankly, I'm just trying to get through them. And I felt like this one would be very relevant and helpful for me because prayer is something that I struggle to do consistently. Then for our in-person book club this month, we are reading Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. So I also really like this used, like kind of beat up copy. I don't know, there's just something very endearing about books like that too, and especially extra points if they don't have an interesting smell. And this one doesn't, so also got that one for a really good deal too, $2.95. So I like it, kind of feels broken in. Then The God Who Hears by Sarah Ivel, How the Story of the Bible Shapes Our Prayers. I got to see Sarah Ivel speak in person at a conference. She is a really solid, very kind-hearted person, even just from the brief interactions that I got to have with her over the weekend at a retreat that we went to, and was just so blown away by her knowledge of the scripture and her insights on prayer. And so this is another book on prayer. You all have already seen me talk about this book in my previous vlog, and this is called The Samurai's Garden by Gail Tsukiyama. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, go and watch my most previous video and I read the synopsis. Then The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Ogawa. I'm very excited about this book because I found this book at a thrift store for $2. And I was about to leave the book section and then this one just popped out to me. So I'm very excited that I found this one. But this one is about a brilliant math professor with a peculiar problem. Ever since a traumatic head injury, he has lived with only 80 minutes of short-term memory. She is an astute young housekeeper with a 10-year-old son who is hired to care for him. And every morning, as the professor and the housekeeper are introduced to each other anew, a strange and beautiful relationship blossoms between them. Though he cannot hold memories for long, his brain is like a tape that begins to erase itself every 80 minutes. The professor's mind is still alive with elegant equations from the past. And I won't read any more than that. I don't want to personally know any more than that. I know enough. But I do really love the cover of this book. And it was in great condition for $2. So this will be another one that I'm hoping to get through in September. And with all of those, again, I do plan on trying to read all these and getting through this one as well.